Is there a relationship between stress and cancer? Of course there is. There has been several meta-analysis done across in all countries, in Australia, in Europe, in America, where there has been illustrations of how stress can lead to breast cancer, prostate cancer, colorectal cancer. So across all ages, there is stress these days. Stress doesn't come to us showing that I'm coming to you. Stress comes in the form of fear, in the form of anxiety, in the form of a loss of a person in a relationship, in the form of death of an individual, in the form of loss of finances. There could be some struggles a person is facing which is not shared with anyone. There could be self-set agendas and achievement goals. There could be struggles in our day-to-day in different forms. Like for example, women multitask. When we get out of our houses, we look at whether we have closed down the gas or we have switched off the lights, and there is a kind of fear whether something will go wrong. So what does all this lead to? The anxiety and the fear. It leads to cognitive ideation, wrong and incomplete thinking, and cognitively we are impaired. Decision making is impaired. Behavior gets modified. There's memory loss. So this is what happens with the way we react. But what happens to our body? There's psychosomatic changes. There could be oral ulcers, aphthous ulcers. There could be irritable bowel syndrome. There could be increased blood pressure, increased sugar levels in the body, diabetes not being controlled. There could be stroke. That eventually that can lead to heart attack. There can be cardiac rhythm abnormalities. There can be skin disorders. Different kinds of autoimmune diseases can happen. Eventually cancer. Now how is it related to cancer? Normally our body does develop cancer cells every day, and God has given us an inherent mechanism to repair those DNA mutations that happens every day that can lead to cancer. Our immune system has T cells and B cells which destroy the tumor cells that develops. But what happens in stress is when the cortisol level increases, the T cells have become suppressed. So the T cells are not able to destroy the cancer cells. So the cancer cells evade the immune system and starts multiplying. And also in a patient who already has cancer, when cortisol level goes up, there will be resistance to chemotherapy. The tumor cells fails to die. Apoptosis does not take place, and therefore there is increased cancer. So cortisol is actually a hormone which is a fear hormone. And epinephrine and norepinephrine is a fight and flight hormone. When that increases in a cancer patient, what happens? Or a normal people? In tumor cells, the angiogenesis, the blood vessels will be increased. So there will be spread of cancer to other organs. So there will be progression of disease. That is why stress needs to be addressed at the initial stage. The opposite of stress is relaxation or calming down. Play down the fear and anxiety. How do we do that? We can love ourselves and love the people around us. Because when we do that, when we increase the endorphins, the prolactin and oxytocin, which is the love hormone, it is the opposite of the stress hormone. Now endorphins can also be increased through proper exercise, antioxidants, good activities which will give us pleasure, and interests that can be nurtured in our lives which is healthy and which is positive. We can have social support groups and friends who can help us to get out of stress. We could actually react in a way which is opposite to stress. Now stress leads to anger, frustration, jealousy, comparison, hatred. Stress leads to a lot of negative thought patterns. Now that can be combated by breaking that cycle and thinking positive, going to the opposite, thinking positive about the situation, having a different mindset about it. So when we are able to tackle stress, we are able to also control the disease and even prevent cancers. I hope this video is helpful. Thank you.